Richard Krause.
They market like you read about. They're just like, look, like I said, everybody's going to know about the movie. They led, oddly enough, with a trailer that I didn't agree with. Like, they put out a trailer for Cop Out that I was like, you're kidding. This is the trailer? Our movie is so... I love the opening in terms of, like, from the studio that, and there's funny stuff in it, but I'm like, there is way fucking funnier stuff in the movie. Why aren't you leading with that? Where's all our edgy shit? These cats are like, Kevin, what are you worried about? You are the edgy shit. People are going to come because of you. So all these edgy people that you want us to market to, they're going because you made it. So we're not going to... Why reach out to them? Why sell the people who are already going? We're going after your mother, bitch. And I was like, my God, you guys are smart. And that was the NHL aspect of it. Like, wow, man, they're dealing on a whole different level. These cats are just like, they've thought it out. Because this is what they do. They've been doing it for 100 years. And particularly this type of marketing for the last 10, 15 years in earnest. So, I don't know. At a certain point, I was like, you're going to see. We're going to put the trailer out. Everyone's going to shit on it. And the trailer came out, and everyone online, every movie site, shit on it. Every fucking movie site was like, this looks terrible. This is so bad. This is a candidate for worst movie of 2010. It hadn't even come out yet, blah, blah, blah. To a man, they all fucking hated it. Parallel opposite. In the real world, everyone who I ever ran into, and people who I hadn't heard from in fucking years, and all the people on Twitter who I consider to be real people, not movie people, everyone loves the trailer. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. That trailer's not good. And they're like, no, it's really funny, man. And the amazing thing, I knew they were fucking right when my friend's mother was just like, I saw the trailer for your movie. It looks really good. I'm going to go. This woman has never seen a film I've ever made in my life. And for the first time ever, she acknowledged that, hey, I work in film, and she's going. And I'm like, oh my God. And now if she had seen my trailer, the one I wanted, she would be like, oh, it's a gross. You know, but she's seeing the one that they're presenting. And it's not a bait and switch. It's that movie too. But my instinct is like, show them something that you never see. Show them a line that you don't see in other movies, man. Sell the edge. That's all I got going for me is edge. I'm fat and edge. That's all I got. And these guys are like, don't worry about it, man. We know who we're selling to. And it's astounding. We go on to tracking for the first time next week, and I'm kind of curious to see what those numbers are because I've never had this experience before where they're marketing this far out. Generally, we would market like 2-3 weeks out max. That's when you start running TV spots and fucking a long lead press would hit. But that's what happens when you're dealing with a place where like they made the absence of cash their virtue at Miramax. You know, it's like that's why they created the kind of marketing game and the hucksterism that they did, which was so successful throughout the 90s and most of the beginnings of the aughts because they didn't have a lot of cash to draw from. And then they got bought by Disney and shit, and then they started, spending and whatnot. But there's something to be said for not having a little cash, for not having a lot of cash. It forced you to be a lot more creative, where Clerks came from, right? So, same with their marketing. Once they had a lot of money to do so, the marketing got less inventive and less inventive.
Last question, guys. Sorry.
Do you want to talk about Red State, which has been
Yeah.
for a while?
Red State is this movie, this horror movie, a political horror movie, I keep calling it, that I wrote the week after I wrote Zack and Miri. I wrote Zack and Miri Mega Porno, and then I sent it off to Seth to read, and while I was waiting for his reaction, I was like, I'm going to write Red State. And I wrote Red State in like 3 days. And it's so fucking vicious and nasty and mean and fucking stark, and it's not funny, and it's, I don't know, it's this weird fucking dark little 70s horror movie that nobody wants to make. I went out there with a script, and people are like, this movie's not commercial in the least. I'm like, I know, isn't it cool? And they're like, yeah, but why would we want to invest in that? So I've had a hard time finding money for it, and I get it. Like, I'm not mad about it. I get it. I don't want to invest in a Kevin Smith movie either, obviously. I mean, I did it once and it worked out, but I ain't doing it again. He's erratic. His record's erratic at best. So I don't know. We can't find cash for it. I imagine sooner or later one day I'll get to a point where I'm like, I guess I'll have to finance it myself and put my money where my mouth is. But I think the most interesting thing that may happen with it is, this is so weird. I was on Twitter, as I always am, and people are asking me about Red State. It was about a month ago. And somebody was asking me about Red State, and I said, there's still no cash, dude. I thought there was cash for a moment, it looked like, and the dude got scared and backed away, so there's still nothing there. And then a dude posted, he tweeted, hey man, what if we paid for it? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great, why don't you pay for it? And then all of a sudden, a bunch of people were like, seriously, like, why not? There are movies out there, they do these independent movies with, you set up a PayPal account and people could donate, why not? And I was sitting there going, well, number one, it would feel weird to, like, ask for money. But I'm like, I guess I'm not asking for money. Like, it's maybe the fucking next step in entertainment in terms of, like, we're always telling the audience what they want to see. And this is an example where the audience is like, we're telling you exactly what we want to see. Go make it. And what's really strange is they never read the script. They don't even know what it's about other than the shit I talked about. But I think there are enough people out there that like the idea of me doing that movie that I talked about. They think it sounds interesting to them. Not to any studio or not to anybody with any money, but to the audience. So it looks like the audience may wind up funding it. So we kind of creating this website, we'll see if it works, to set up and collect donations. It becomes this weird tax nightmare, though, in terms of, like, you know, what do you do? People, you can't just accept free money without the government going, what's going on here? So there's all these implications of when I still got it. Sounded like such an easy thing online where people were like, we'll just send you money. I was like, yeah, go ahead. If you send me enough money, I'll totally make this movie. But now there's lots of, you know, checks and balances, so we have to make sure that we can do it. But if that's the case, I would be into that, you know? And then I'll match it. Like, go to Re-Raise Online, I'm like, fuck it, you put it up, I'll put it up, and shit like that. And this summer, we're doing this thing. It's my 40th birthday coming up this summer, and we're having a big event in Jersey, and one of which is the View Askew garage sale, where I'm selling every prop I have. I'm selling the past to fund the future. Because if the only way to make Red State is to sell off fucking Jay and Silent Bob's outfits, then so be it. It's time to do it. So we're going to make it. It's going to happen. First up is that hockey movie, because that's where I am right now. Right after that, though, by hook or by crook, my pennies and the pennies of the audience, God bless them, motherfuckers want to see the movie so badly that they're willing to pay some fucking their own money. I said, God, absolutely, put their names in the credits, and that movie will be a reality. So it's moving. I mean, that's why, you know, for years people have been like, you spend so much time on the internet and fucking blah, 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 and you're not a filmmaker, you just like talking to people. And they're right, you know, I do like talking to people, but those fans have, like, given me a living for 15 years, and all they've ever asked for in return is, like, be entertaining, bitch, and be honest. And I try to be both of those things. So I think it's a beautiful culmination of that 15-year relationship where it comes to this point where they're like, here's a bunch of money, go make that movie. From the audience, what's more beautiful than that, man? You can keep all the fucking studio money in the world you want. There is no money sweeter than the money that comes from somebody who's just like, I don't have a lot, but I really want to see that fucking movie. You know, then I have to. Then I gotta. Then I want to make the movie. That just jazzes me up.
Thanks for coming.
I guess we gotta go.
Richard Krause.